Hey, welcome once again, guys. You won't believe what just happened to me. Oh, we're chasing this huge ha bird who just showed up in my study. I'm like, what is this? But luckily I had a lovely lady here who was able to capture it. I mean, she really just held it and took it out of the room. You don't know those ha birds. It's got a long beak. It looks like one of those left behind dinosaurs with wings. Yes, that's what it looks like. Was quite scary, but that's done, and I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. I'm honored to be talking to you once again. Welcome to the channel. I'm really happy that you're able to make it once again. So today I'm going to talk to us, to myself and to you about something called ikigai. It's a Japanese word, but it really boils down to helping us answer, what is my purpose? You know, what is the purpose? What is my purpose on this journey on earth? And it looks at four main things. You know, it asks you the questions: what do you love? What do you love to do? You know, when you wake up in the morning, what do you really love to do? That you say, oh gosh, I have to go again and start it. But you just, it's like, let's go and do this thing. You are just so excited. Let's go and write a book. It's like, yes, let's do it. Or let's go and read. It's like, yes, let's do it. Or let's go and play football, you know, and you're like, yes. Or you just hear the sound of a basketball bouncing. That's me, by the way. I love basketball. I love to support my youth in the youth church who play basketball. We were at camp the other day, and it was just nice to you know, throw the ball into the hoop. Very, very exciting. I just love it. So once I hear the sound of the basketball, it's like, yes, there is life and I'm ready to go. Or is it eating? Do you just love eating? Or do you love reading? Or do you love walking in the park? Or are you a runner? You know, when you're feeling stressed, you just want to go for a run. You know, you really, really need to know what you love doing. And that's a good place to start from. And if you've never really thought about it, just see in a week, what is it that when it's time to do, you just love doing it, you know, and you get into it effortlessly. You know, that's really something you need to find out about yourself. What do you love doing? And then there's also the next part to ask, what does the world need? You know, when you look around you, people just keep on complaining about the same thing. You know, the world needs this thing. They need somebody who can encourage them, or they need, yes, everybody say they need money. Yeah. You know, who doesn't need money? But money is not the principal thing. Eh? Money just answers everything. So when you get the money, what are you now going to use the money for? You may find that you could find that outcome without actually getting the money. You know, because now you could have the money, and then what is needed, you still don't have it. So money is just a means to an end, and it's so important in life, you know, but it's not it answers all things, but it's not the answer to all things. I hope that makes sense, right? Okay, so what does the world need? Does the world need a solution in terms of stem cells? Oh gosh, you know, at the youth camp the other day, I had one of my youth saying she wants to discover something about how to heal or solve cancer. She wants to go and do, was it microbiology or chemical engineering or something? And about stem cells. I'm like, wow, this just reminded me of my 16-year-old self. Like, yes, have it in mind and go for it. So what does the world need? Does the world need driverless cars? Does the world need people who are able to strategize or are able to produce things? I mean, some years ago, I made ponchos. You know what a poncho is? You know, we're in winter now, so all those nice ponchos. And I found that people needed it. So I was responding to a need in that way. So what does the world need around you? When you go about your business on a day-to-day basis, do you see people stranded in terms of transport or by the roadside waiting for taxis? That's been taken already, because now we have Uber. So somebody saw that problem. There was a challenge in hailing down taxis, and then they now formed this e-hailing system. So you just look around you. There's so many problems to be solved in the world. Is it about animals not getting enough food or not looking healthy? I said, there is a need there. So you need to also consider in your own area of operation, what is the need that you can fit into. So you've looked at what you love doing, you've looked at what is the need that is out there, and then you want to also consider what can you be paid for, right? So there is a need, there is something you love doing, and people will actually be happy to pay you to do it. They will be happy to pay you to do it. They'll be happy to pay you to give them good counsel in terms of their academic career, for instance, or they'll be happy to pay you to give them some invention on medical breakthrough. So you consider that also. And then what is it that you are good at? Hey, I love to talk. Oh, I love to sleep. Oh, I love to eat. Oh, I love to run. Don't look at it like, no, this person is better because they love. No, you have your own space, and knowing this is what I love to do, you put it down, right? So once you've got those 4 points, then you can now start playing with it around. So what you love, when it overlaps with what the world needs, is actually your mission. I know some people who have gone into teaching maths and science, even online, because they could reach out to many who are struggling with maths and science, and not that it's only needed, but they love to teach maths and science, right? And then, by the way, when that overlaps, it now becomes your mission. So your mission is to see that in your community or in your family or in wherever your oikos, you are able to share or teach, give enlightenment when it comes to maths and science. So when what you need and what you love overlaps, that becomes your mission, right? When what you need, what you love, and what you're good at, it becomes your passion. You're so passionate about this maths and science. You just want to teach it. For me, I'm passionate about research methods. How do I get students to understand what a research problem is? What are the different types of research methodologies? How do you engage in built environment research in such a way that it makes the life of people better? Because you have orientated or you've designed a room that when they go in, they feel so distressed, they're so comfortable, they don't even want to leave the space again. That is now your passion. You are bringing in that knowledge, what you love doing, and what you're good at, it becomes your passion. And then what you love, what you're good at, and what you can be paid for. Wow. Because it's not only good to be good at something, people must pay you now. At least you will earn some kind of income. So what you're good at and what you are now going to be paid for becomes your profession. I can think of architects. They're so good at designing buildings, factories, industries, schools, and they just love it, and people are able to pay for that. So that becomes your profession. Even in the medical field, it becomes the profession. Then what the world needs and what you will be paid for becomes a vocation. Now, if you are lucky to get to a point where all these things line up, so your passion, your mission, your vocation, and your profession all line up, then you'll be working in your purpose. You would wake up and go to work, and then when the salary comes, it's like, they paid me to do what I enjoy doing. That is the best place to be. To be so passionate about the work you are doing and to be able to get paid for it is the ultimate goal. Not that, yes, the salary is good, but that job, I hate it. No, you don't want to be there. You want to love the job you're doing, right? And you want to get well paid for it. And you want to be meeting a need in society, and you also want to be good at it. I met somebody who was very good at teaching, and they just stand there all day teaching. They don't think they're doing anything. And at the end of the month, they get paid for it. Whereas another person who is just looking after sick people, you know, they're doctors, they are treating people. If I'm to do that job, you know, my elder brother is a doctor. I remember many years ago, we were going out and he had told me he needed to just do a ward round, you know, at the hospital. So we went into the hospital. I waited for him. This was many years ago. You know, I waited for him to come out. He didn't come out in time. So I now went into the hospital. Gosh, I saw somebody with a bandage on the head. The person was waking up from unconsciousness and just removing the bandage. He was in pain. The others were crying. By the time I found him and he said, "Oh yeah, let's go," I was like, "I don't want to go anywhere again. Just take me home. I don't want to go." And he said, "No, you can't carry the problems of the hospital on your head. You just be depressed." But they are equipped to do that. I know I can't do that job. I'll probably be crying every day. Like, "Oh no, this baby died. The mommy is not well," you know. But everybody has a vocation. They have what they're passionate about. They have their profession, you know. But if you can get all these things as a young person to align, you know, to align. I'm not talking about what you go and study in school. I'm talking about your purpose. If you can get them to align, gosh, you would be making so much impact and you'll be growing. You'll be creating wealth for yourself. You'll be working in your purpose, actually, you know. And that is where you actually want to get to. So the concept is Ikigai, Ikigai. Go and look, investigate it more and see how you can start getting to know yourself once again. What is it I'm about? What do I love? What does the world need? What can I be paid for? You know, and what is it that I am good at? It doesn't matter. Don't think I'm only good at cooking. You know, if you are good at cooking and the world needs food and you love cooking and they can pay you for cooking, everything is aligning, right? So that's what you must do. And if you are good at whatever, at driving or at writing books or unpacking, you know, some of us are very good at unpacking difficult problems. You're good at unpacking those difficult problems. And people need you to unpack it. And they are willing to pay you for it. And you love doing it. That is where your purpose comes in. Right? I hope that helps. Please remember to share it with someone who might need to hear this message. Don't feel down. We're all uniquely created and uniquely positioned, you know, for this journey that we have. So thanks once again for stopping by, and do stop by again. Share. Remember to share. God bless. Bye.